許された力なの。
I am 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐻. Atomic.
Yo, episode 14. Yo, even when this anime takes me down a little bit, it brings me right back up. Yo, who else was like, when Sid was doing his a range, he was like, I am. And I was like, atomic, atomic, atomic. And he's like, all range. And I was like, oh. And then he's like, then he whispered, atomic. And I was like, yes, Sid, we did it, buddy. Oh, man. Another week, another proving ground of Sid is a fool, right? Like, just absolutely insane. But like that move that he did there when he took down all of the Olivia heroes or whatever in one shot, he was like, why go through all this? We're just gonna blast it all. We're just gonna blast all of this in one shot. And he's like, I am all rage, atomic. I was like, ah. Oh man, such a epic moment. So let's talk about this episode, because this episode was really, really good. I think that atomic part of the episode, definitely the highlight of the episode for me. The secondary highlight for me is the big information drop that we got. So we found out that Aurora, the Witch of Calamity, actually goes by another name. She is actually the Witch of Diablo. So she basically is the demon incarnate, essentially, right? And she essentially has fallen in love with our boy Sid. So I was definitely like, yeah, let's freaking go Aurora, the Witch of Calamity. Let's go fall in love with Sid. So now what Sid needs to do, essentially, he needs to go find the body. So that means that this Diablo's character can essentially come over to Sid's side now. And he has some skin in the game to kind of get this thing that this cult infatuates himself with. And actually make it on his side. Now, the reason that the cult is so important to the story is they're not trying to, like, worship or, they're not trying to make the Diablos a god, right? They're trying to obtain the power, and they're worshiping, quote-unquote, in that fashion, in that way. That's why they're dangerous and need to be taken down. So the actual demon, the actual Diablos itself, really isn't this crazy thing in a sense. It's actually the people behind it and what they're trying to do with said power. Now, in this episode specifically, even Sid completely blew away every thought, every facet that Aurora had, because he has so much power. She's like, nobody can have this much power. So he can essentially go, he can roll up to the Diablos, free her from her shackles or whatever, which we kind of saw, when he destroyed when he destroyed the sanctuary. We saw the shackles there, and the shackles, I believe, really were a metaphor, or was really like a envisioning of the arm that they had there, and kind of the shackles being freed from that. So I don't know if that arm is gonna beam itself back to her wherever she's at or whatever, but essentially that's what it is. So I'm wondering if maybe what we saw is like her ancestral body, however you say the word. Maybe she could transform in and out into like a demon form, and she has that, right? So I definitely want to know more about Aurora. I definitely want to know more about the Witch of Calamity. I definitely want to know more about like how they come here. Where are they from? How they become this? Are they demon descent? Where are they? Like, there's so much other stuff that we want to know, but just that little nougat of information is enough to kind of carry me forward the next episode. So hopefully we kind of get as the anime's first season core, however you want to call it. I'll call it season, but as the first season comes to an end, hopefully we get some answers of that as well. So I thought that was absolutely incredible. The next thing that I thought was pretty, noteworthy is I like how Beta joined forces with the two princesses, Aurelia and Alexia. I thought that was pretty cool. I love her banter. I love Beta's banter between Alexia and herself. So I thought that was a really cool thing. At the end of the episode, we saw Aurelia trying to perfect her fencing because she saw Sid in like a grocery bag or whatever. She saw him fence, so she's trying to perfect her fencing. She gets taken over by something, maybe she had some kind of contact with the Baron priest dude or something in the sanctuary. But she gets taken over by something we don't know yet. So, Sid's going to have to cleanse her in some way, shape, or form. But she's getting taken over by something. So, Sid's going to have to come and be Captain 𝐒𝐻𝐽 there, which I think is completely okay. But she's getting ready for that. Right before that, we saw Alexia talking to her sister, kind of about everything that's going on. Talking to Iris about everything that's going on. Very good fan service. Love the toe beans. Love the feetsies. I think, feet fan service in anime. I don't care what anybody says. I'm here for it as long as it's done right and tastefully. You guys are welcome for that. I think that was a really good scene. We basically see that Iris has a vendetta against, not only Shadow Garden, but like the Cult of Diablo. Basically, she just has a vendetta against everything that's going on because all of her plans are basically just turned upside of her head. She can't get the full support of her father. She can't get the full support of her army because she let a lot of people die. So now she has this strong vendetta against, everybody. She's going to try and win this tournament that comes on as like an international event. So I wonder on how her motivations are going. I wonder what direction they're going to point her to. I hope that she doesn't become evil or too consumed with vengeance. But I'm definitely interested to see what happens there. And then that really serious scene was totally quelled by Alexia doing the towel slapping. And I freaking lost my mind during that time as well. And I think that really sums up the whole entire episode of kind of like what happened here and kind of like major events. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, and then obviously we talked about Sid and Aurora, the kiss and stuff there too. So now we not only have all of Shadow Garden vying for Sid's love, right? We not only have Alpha, which is the main B, we have Alexia, we have Aurelia, and we now have the effing demon that, basically we have the demon lord, the demon that, is the big bad, kind of vying for Sid's love too, which is insane. And we have Sid basically breaking every barrier and going plus ultra times 11, SS4, SSJ4, Super Saiyan, quadruple God, we have him breaking every single barrier over here without a thought. One thing that I did enjoy was a little flashback that Alpha had of when she created a Japanese style modern home. I thought that was a really cool thing too, and then he kind of imparted his wisdom. We also saw the I forget who it is, Delta, Beta, Alpha. I forget which girl it is, but we saw the one who kind of handles all the stores and stuff too. She bought a lot of land, and they discovered petroleum in that land. Basically, they discovered gasoline. So now they're going to be able to kind of modernize even further and, even get more billions of dollars as they try and take over the world in that financial facet as well. I thought that was incredibly interesting as they kind of pushed that agenda. And I was like, damn, they found petroleum? Hell yeah, let's effing go. She's like, we're going to buy all your land, bro. And I thought that was a cool thing too. So love everything about the anime. Love how everything is kind of pointing towards this really, really cool future. I wonder what Sid's gonna do with all this new information that he was gleaned. He's still a little bit in the dark because Alpha's just assuming that he knows everything. He doesn't really. But very interesting to see what comes next. But man, what another fantastic episode. And Aurora, the Witch of Calamity, disappearing, but finding out that she's actually the demon that is being experimented on is quite interesting. So I wonder where her actual body is at. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you for being with me another week for Eminence in Shadow episode 14. And my friends, I'll see you guys next week for episode 15. Peace.